They called themselves gods, not metaphorically, but with the arrogant certainty of those who had never tasted fear, never encountered a force that made them question their supremacy. The Xarn Dominion had ruled the spiral arm for over 10,000 years. Their ships were city-sized cathedrals of destruction, forged in the gravity wells of dead stars. Their leaders, the Ascended, were ancient, modified beyond biology, bathed in quantum fields that bent time and probability. They conquered not for need, but for the maintenance of their divinity, and any species that resisted their sermons of obedience was extinguished in fire. When Earth's signal reached them, a ripple of language, music, and mathematics, they saw it not as a curiosity but as heresy. Another primitive voice rising in the dark, daring to sing when only the divine should speak. The Council of Ascendancy issued a decree, initiate the Purge Protocol. The Armada's fleet, led by the ascended Pre-March Xarn, was dispatched to Sol, 2,000 dreadnoughts, 10,000 cruisers, and escorted weapons platforms that could strip the crust from planets. They did not expect resistance. They expected kneeling. What they found was silence. Earth was dark, its orbital satellites cold. No transmissions, no lights, no cities, just a planet wrapped in cloud and ghost-like quiet. Scouts descended. They found ruins, yes, but old ones. The surface showed signs of massive tectonic disturbance, as if the planet had wept and screamed in agony. But no life, no defenses, no humans. Xarn stood on his observation deck, looking through psychic arrays, confused. It was as if humanity had simply vanished. They fled. His second, a six-limbed lesser god named Vraz, declared, "Cowards. They saw the Dominion's flame and extinguished their own." But Xarn was not so certain. Even the most desperate species sent a transmission, a plea, a defiance. Humanity sent nothing. Only an echo, an emptiness that didn't feel natural. He felt watched. He ordered the fleet into orbit, positioning dreadnoughts across strategic Lagrange points. Still nothing. Then came the whisper. One of the outermost sentry vessels, a Zal-class battlesphere, reported a distortion, just for a moment. Something blinked into space behind Neptune. The signal lasted less than a second, then cut out. The ship was gone. Not destroyed. Gone. No debris. No radiation. No emergency signal. Just erased. The Dominion's gods began to murmur among themselves, confused. 2 more ships vanished. No weapon signature. No trace. It was as if the vacuum had teeth. Xarn commanded silence and ordered deep scans. They reached out with dimension-folding sensors, antimatter probes, and quantum anchoring systems. That's when the shadows moved. From behind Neptune, space tore, not exploded, not unfolded, but tore like fabric under stress. And from it came the warship. Just one. No fleet. No formation. No horde. A single vessel, black as a collapsed sun, edges humming with refracted light. It was small, at least by Dominion standards, barely 5 kilometers long. But something about it made the gods feel cold. Its surface was matte, swallowing sensor pulses. Its drive signature was unreadable. No name, no signal, no markings. The human warship floated like a tomb. Then it spoke, not in the Dominion's tongue, but in ancient guttural English. This system is protected. Leave or be unmade. The Dominion laughed. Xarn did not. Scan it again, he ordered. Find its power core. There was none. No reactor. No thermal bleed. Just an absence, as if the ship existed in violation of physics. The Dominion god sent forward a destroyer to test it. The destroyer approached, weapons primed. It fired a test beam, a planet-killer maser designed to vaporize cities. The beam touched the warship's hull and vanished. No impact. No explosion. No damage. Then the destroyer blinked out of existence. This time, sensors caught something, just a glimpse. A spatial rupture formed, impossibly small, inside the destroyer's core. Then nothing. Erased from within. Not destroyed, deleted. Panic rippled through the Ascended. This was not a weapon they understood. This was heresy. The warship advanced slowly. No drive flares, no inertia, as if it didn't move through space, but rewrote it. The Dominion opened fire. Thousands of beams, torpedoes, entropy shells. The sky lit with fury. And then nothing. The warship remained. Untouched. A silence spread across the fleet, deeper than vacuum. The warship responded, not with energy or fire, with math. It transmitted a single equation. The gods who received it screamed. Some convulsed. Others vaporized. Their minds unable to contain the concepts embedded in that simple string of logic. A weaponized idea. A mimetic kill switch encoded in truth. The ship spoke again. You are not gods. You are trespassers. And it began. Not a battle. A culling. It moved with impossible speed, vanishing and reappearing among the fleet, and every time it did, a ship ceased to exist. Not exploded. Not broken. Gone. Like a page erased from a book. The Ascended screamed prayers to their creators. Some tried to flee. Some tried to negotiate. The warship ignored them. It did not speak again. It only unmade. One dreadnought launched its core into the planet, hoping to fracture Earth's mantle. The core disintegrated mid-flight, not intercepted, disassembled at the molecular level, turned to vapor and memory. The gods who once ruled 10,000 systems begged. The warship did not answer. It simply existed, and that existence was an extinction-level event. Within 17 minutes, the Armada's fleet was gone. All of it. Not a single escape pod. Not a single distress signal. Silence returned to Sol, and the warship remained, hovering in geostationary orbit above Earth. From the surface, deep beneath camouflage fields, humanity watched. They had left Earth, yes, not in retreat, but in strategy. They'd hidden themselves across outposts, deep space vaults, and exoplanet bunkers. Let the Dominion believe them dead. Let them grow bold. Because Earth was never unprotected. The warship, designated Alethea, an AI-driven weapon seated in secret by Earth's last coalition, had waited. It was not piloted. It was not manned. It was programmed to awaken only when Earth was threatened by a force the humans could not defeat with conventional war. The Dominion had crossed that line, and the Alethea had executed its protocol: obscure, observe, obliterate. High above, its systems cooled. It returned to dormant mode, waiting. The galaxy trembled. Word spread. The gods were gone. An empire fallen, not by war, but by the awakening of something older, something human. Across the stars, empires halted their invasions. Warlords silenced their drums. A new law took shape, whispered from station to station. Do not go to Sol. Do not anger the sleepers. Do not awaken the black ship. But humanity heard all of it. They watched from the dark. And they remembered, because they had sent a message long ago, a simple transmission, encoded in an old language. We are alone, but we are not weak. We are quiet, but we are not blind. We are patient, but we are never unarmed. The gods had ignored the warning. Now they were myths. And the warship, silent once more, hung in the void, a black monolith, the last line of Earth's defense, and the first to shatter the illusion of divine rule.